Mission service has meant a lot, I would say, to me. I mean, I first started in terms of actual global mission service in 1982, working for DWMIC in the old American Lutheran Church. And that started me really on a road that I had never expected to be on. And I taught English at a Collège Protestant, a Protestant high school in Ngaoundéré, Cameroon. And so that kind of moved me along a path that I had never planned on, which was towards ordained ministry. And what it's done for me and what it's given me is really a better understanding of myself, a better understanding of cultures around me. I had a pretty broad growing up period as a child of Holden Village, where my parents were directors, and that gave me quite a bit of experience, but this was a whole new world. And actually my first experience overseas was in Thailand as a student, and then later with Peace Corps, but it was through Global Mission that I saw a different light and saw also a lot of different possibilities. And the process through that time period was also came accompaniment, and that also really affected me in my change. And so actually coming into global service in 1998, going to Central African Republic was a unique experience because we expected to be there for 12 years, maybe longer. But after 3 years, I realized that I was really more of a warm body and not really, they could do what I was doing. And I think I brought gifts to the teaching, what I was doing, but I began to realize that it was time to transition my position out and to try to transition more having Central African in that position. So actually in 2002, when we were evacuated out due to the coup, it was a perfect timing for that, although there were things that we'd hoped to accomplish that we were not able to at that point in terms of transitioning a much more different way. But God has plans that we don't know, and I think that was what was working. And then we were asked to become regional representatives. And that, again, was not something I ever thought of doing, but I believed in it because of accompaniment. And I thought, you know, we're accompanying our church partners, we're accompanying our colleagues overseas, we're accompanying people in the States as we bring what I believed was important in terms of the understanding of we are a global mission.
For me, it's all about going over and encountering the other, and not just encountering, but learning to understand, learning to value. And then the most amazing part I found was that even in encountering the other, I would find commonality, either in the individual of this piece or that piece. I have my American culture behind me, but I'm an individual. They have their whatever country culture behind them, and we can find commonality. It happened a few years into our service, and we had been evacuated from Central African Republic and had went up to Ngaoundéré, where Andy used to be a teacher years before I met him. And so he knew certain friends in that community, certain Cameroonian colleagues that he had taught with. And when we were there, our child, who at that time was less than 2 years old, 1 year old maybe, little baby. And Andy needed to go and pick up cars, I believe was the thing. We had imported cars, and the mission had, and so he was going to go there and help bring them in. So I was in this city that I really didn't know, and I didn't really know so many people. So I had met, through Andy, one of his friends, Hamadama, yes, and they had been teachers together, and Hamadama was there with his family, still teaching, and we had dinner with them. And so when he heard Andy had left, suddenly a young lady showed up at my doorstep in the evening of where I was staying, and she said, "I'm here to stay with you." I was like, "What? Who are you?" And then she explained she was the daughter of Hamadama, and her father had heard that his friend's wife, me, was alone with a baby, and he didn't think I should be alone, so he sent his daughter to stay with me. She slept over. Andy was gone several days. She stayed the whole time. She would help me. She would just be there with me to make sure I wasn't alone. So that was very touching.
this goes back again to the early days. I know most of our errors or most of our situations, I think oftentimes in early days are humorous because we don't know what's going to happen with them. And so what happened was, I was with the president of the Church of the Central African Republic, and we were talking, and we were going to have dinner, a bunch of people, and he said, so we have a lot of things on the table here. We have beef, we have chicken, we have monkey. And I said, oh, well, that looks good. And he said, yes, you should try the monkey. And I said, well, but Mr. President, I don't eat monkey. And he said, but you should eat monkey. I said, no, I really don't eat monkey. And he said, well, you know, to be part of the culture, you need to eat monkey. And I said, well, Mr. President, let me explain it this way. You like monkey. He said, yes, I do like monkey. I said, I don't really like monkey. He said, okay. I said, now if I eat the monkey, that means less monkey for you, right? And it took him basically less than probably 30 seconds. He said, don't eat the monkey. And I have to admit, it was good advice for me.